Mintzberg's 5 Ps of strategy is a framework developed by Henry Mintzberg to describe the different ways in which organizations think about and implement strategy. The 5 Ps are plan, ploy, pattern, position, and perspective. Each P represents a different approach to strategy, offering a comprehensive view that goes beyond the traditional notion of strategy as merely a plan. Here's a brief explanation of each of the 5 Ps. The first P is plan. Strategy as a plan is perhaps the most traditional view, where strategy is seen as a consciously intended course of action to deal with a situation. This approach involves deliberate planning and analysis to outline an organization's direction, objectives, and the means to achieve them. It's about foresight, and the strategy is developed before actions are taken. The second P is ploy. As a ploy, strategy is essentially a maneuver intended to outsmart an opponent or competitor. In this sense, strategy is not just about long-term planning, but also involves tactical moves designed to put competitors at a disadvantage. It's about being cunning and strategic in the moment to gain competitive advantage. The third P is pattern. Strategy as a pattern emphasizes the consistency of behavior over time. In this view, strategy emerges from past behavior and actions, regardless of whether those actions were intentionally planned. It recognizes that strategies can develop organically as an organization adapts to its environment and finds what works best. The fourth P is position. This perspective views strategy as the means to position the organization within its external environment, particularly in relation to competitors, markets, and customers. It's about finding a profitable and sustainable place in the market and involves analyzing the competitive landscape and determining how the organization can distinguish itself. The fifth P is perspective. Strategy as perspective focuses on the ingrained way of perceiving the world that shapes an organization's actions and decisions. It is deeply embedded in the organization's culture and values, influencing how strategies are conceived and implemented. This approach recognizes that strategy is not just about external positioning, but also about fostering a unique identity and viewpoint within the organization. Mintzberg's 5 Ps framework highlights the multifaceted nature of strategy, showing that it can be planned and deliberate, as well as emergent and adaptive. It serves as a useful tool for organizations to think about strategy in a more comprehensive way, recognizing the importance of planning, competition, patterns of action, market positioning, and organizational culture and identity in shaping strategic direction. While the model is praised for its comprehensiveness and versatility, it also faces several criticisms related to complexity, lack of empirical support, static nature, implementation challenges, and underemphasis on external factors. Let's take a quick look at each of these criticisms. The first criticism concerns complexity and overlap. Some critics argue that the 5 Ps are too overlapping and interdependent, which can cause confusion rather than clarity. For instance, plan and ploy can often be seen as components of one another rather than distinct strategies. This complexity might make the model less accessible or practical for managers seeking clear guidance. Another line of criticism concerns the lack of empirical support. Like many theoretical models, the 5 Ps have been critiqued for lacking rigorous empirical validation. Critics suggest that Mintzberg's framework is more descriptive than prescriptive, providing a way to describe existing strategies more than a method to formulate effective new ones. Yet another criticism targets the model's static nature. Despite its dynamic presentation of strategy, some argue that the 5 Ps model doesn't fully accommodate the rapid change and flexibility required in today's volatile business environment. Strategies often need to evolve more dynamically than the somewhat static categorization of the 5 Ps allows. Some are also pointing out implementation challenges. Applying Mintzberg's 5 Ps in a practical, real-world setting can be challenging. The broad definitions of each P can lead to strategic ambiguity. Managers might struggle with how to effectively implement or prioritize actions based on this model, potentially leading to strategic paralysis or misalignment. Finally, another point of criticism is that the 5 Ps model underemphasizes external factors. It focuses heavily on internal decision-making and less on external environmental factors. In today's globalized economy, external influences such as market dynamics, competitive actions, and technological advancements can be critical to strategic success, but might not be adequately addressed by this model. Despite these criticisms, Mintzberg's 5 P model remains a valuable tool for understanding the multifaceted nature of strategic management. It encourages leaders to think about strategy from multiple perspectives, which can enhance strategic planning and execution. However, like any theoretical model, It should be used as part of a broader strategic analysis and decision-making process. Before you go, if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and consider subscribing to stay updated with our latest discussions. I'm Dr. Dog, eager to hear your thoughts or future topic suggestions in the comments below. Wishing you a fantastic day ahead.